everyone, my name is Joanny. I am a physician associate working in the UK, and I am going to be telling you guys all about my 6 months experience working in general practice. So back in February, I made a video where I talked about everything that I'd learned and my experience so far working in primary care or general practice after 3 months. And you can't believe it, but it's been another 3 months. So I've been working in general practice for 6 months, only by the special grace of God. And I thought I'll come on here again and just give you guys share a few things that I've learned and just a little bit about my experience. But I'm going to be doing it vlog style because it's the weekend, it's Saturday. If you work in GP, you know that we treasure our weekends because, you know, it's just so, it can be so physically and mentally draining that by the time Friday comes, you're just jubilating and, you know, looking forward to the 2 days off. But today's even more special because I'm going to be meeting up with my friends from PA school they used to be in my PA vlogs, and we're going to a restaurant. As you guys may know, if you're in the UK, the restaurants are open now, but they're only allowing people to eat outside at the moment. But we're going to see how that's going to go. Hopefully the weather's good. This UK weather, I'm not even gonna start ranting about this UK weather. But anyway, let's just hope the weather is good. Okay, hey guys, it's 4:10 now and I'm getting ready to leave. But I thought before I go, I'll just talk about a few things that has happened over the last 3 months. When I left off, so that was early February when I gave my last update, I was on 4 patients per clinic. So since then, I have upped to now having 5 patients per clinic. So 2 team consultations, telephone consultations, and then 3 e-consults. So I mentioned, if you haven't watched my last video, which I'm going to link down below, patients in my practice can fill out e-consults or e-consultations on our website. We as clinicians take out a portion of these e-consults, and then we respond to the patients within 24 to 48 hours. Or sometimes it could take up 72 hours. It depends on how many e-consults there are from day to day. My other colleagues advised me to put up my follow-ups on my actual list as well, because what I was doing before is, I mentioned in the last video actually, that I would send tasks to myself to follow up with patients, and like admin tasks. I'll send a lot of the tasks to myself, but then because no one else was seeing those tasks, it felt like I wasn't doing anything behind the scenes, but I was actually speaking to and interacting with way more than like 5 patients a day. So my colleagues advised me to actually put everything that I'm doing on my list, so actually see what I have to do. So then that means now I have dedicated 2 follow-up slots per session on top of my 5 patients, or 5 patients and then 2 follow-up slots that I can book in patients who I want to follow up with, so patients I've spoken to before. And then I can add on admin tasks as well, so referrals, letters, emails, you know, all those little things, I can add them onto there. And then I have 2 slots for face-to-face appointments, so if I from the telephone triaging, if I want to see any patients face to face, I can put them in those slots. So sometimes I even get to follow up more than 2 patients. It really depends on the day, from day to day, but I've been doing that and sort of trying to just get a hold of managing my time. I do feel like my time management has gotten better, and I have been really trying to look after myself, make sure that I have a break, make sure that I get some time to move away from the computer. Because last week, not this week, this past, the week before, I was getting headaches after spending so much time on the computer, because sometimes we have lunchtime meetings, and these meetings mean that because now everything is virtual, we have these meetings whilst we're having lunch, whilst we're watching on the screen. And there was this day, I think it was a Thursday, when I was on the screen for like almost all throughout that day, and I had a really pounding headache by the time I finished. So what I got was these glasses. they're called blue light blocking glasses. This one's the one I use at home. It blocks like the blue light from the computer. And I've spoken to one of my colleagues at work who can help me adjust like the blue light setting on my computer as well. And so I have one for home, and I also have one for work. So I spend a lot of time on the computer, because on my laptop, mainly because I write. I'm a writer as well, so I've been using these, and for the last week or so they've really been helping. I'm not been getting those headaches anymore, which is great, praise God. Because I don't headaches are just something that I do not want to deal with. You just can't concentrate when you have a headache, and just looking at the screen and the words, it's just not helping. Another thing I wanted to talk about is vaccination clinics. So you guys might have seen from a vlog I posted a while ago about the vaccination clinics that I've been doing or I've been involved in. So the vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccines, is still being rolled out, and so from time to time, depending on whether they need people to volunteer or not volunteer, work there, because the clinics are run mainly by volunteers. So marshals and those who are vaccinating, a lot of them are volunteers. But sometimes if they're short, then they can pull someone out from the practice to go and help out. And I've been helping out a lot. Like this past week, I helped out at one clinic, but then 2 weeks ago, I think I had like 3 clinics in the week. They are 4.5 hours or 5 hours long, I think, from like 8:30 till 1:30 or 2. I'm not even sure. But yeah, so usually I do one of them either in the morning or in the afternoon. I never do like a long day, because you're standing on your feet the whole day. It's just absolutely like, I don't even. Anyway, I enjoy doing them. I think it's a nice break from clinics, and so I've been sort of getting my way around that. There was a lot of talk about whether PAs can actually vaccinate, because in terms of consenting forms and stuff like that, because a prescriber needs to prescribe the vaccine before the vaccinator can, sort of give it or administer it. So there was a lot of like talk around whether PAs can consent to patients to fill out the pre-screening questions or not. Before they said it was okay, and then now I think what they're doing is before a non-prescribing clinician has to vaccinate, a prescribing clinician needs to go through this pre-screening questions and sign the form. So I'll only be able to vaccinate if a doctor has gone through, or a doctor or an advanced nurse practitioner or a prescribing pharmacist or whoever can prescribe has gone through the questions with the patient and signed. So then I would be able to administer that. So, and then another thing that I want to talk about, which has happened in the last 3 months, is the foundation doctors that were at my practice. I don't know if I mentioned the last vlog actually, but sometime earlier this year, because of the lockdown and the rise of COVID cases, earlier this year, the foundation doctors at my practice were redeployed back into hospital, and they were there for like 2 months or so. But then in their last month, they came back to the practice. They joined us again, which was good, which means that there were a lot of us. It wasn't just me, and so we were having like day-to-day supervision to sort of help us with our day-to-day cases, which was great. And then those set of foundation doctors finished, and then now we have a new set of foundation doctors, foundation year 2 doctors, who have come into the practice. They've been with us for like a month or so, and so yeah, it's just about like forming new relationships, forming new bonds with my colleagues, and helping them out whenever I can or need to. It's a very interesting time, like working in general practice, because a lot of things have changed from before, especially if people are coming in from hospital. Hospital medicine is so different from general practice, especially with the way things are done in GP. Like, it's a whole different ball game. You have to learn that things will not always be sorted there and then. You need to make a plan, you need to know what you're doing, and you need to safety net, you need to be safe and all of that. The one thing that I've really loved, that I've really enjoyed in the last 3 months, is how much more independent I've become. So initially, when I started having my own clinics, I would discuss each and every one of my patients with my supervisor, but now I don't have to discuss each and every patient. Sometimes I can deal with things there and then maybe later on, if I have any questions, I would ask. So I've learned how to work around things, and I just love that I'm becoming more and more confident, but also making sure that I ask for help whenever I need to, because like I said, I only have 6 months of experience. I don't know everything, and so there are much more experienced people there who have been working in GP for years who can help me. So I always make sure that I always ask for help when I need help. I think I'm gonna pause here for a minute. I'm gonna get ready, I'm gonna go meet my friends, and then when I come back later on this evening, I'm gonna finish telling you guys all the other things that I've learned so far. So I will speak to you guys later. Wait, Lulu, say hello. Wait, let me do my legs. Say hello. I need to do mine as well. You guys are looking. Okay, hey guys, it is Sunday and I just got back from church. Sorry, I just was so tired when I got back from having dinner with my girls yesterday, as you might have seen in the previous clips. I was so tired when I got back home, and so I didn't finish filming the rest of the points that I wanted to talk about. One other thing, I don't know if this might be specific to my practice, or if you work in primary care, you can let me know in the comments actually, is the fact that there's been a lot of pressure for appointments. A lot of patients are wanting to contact the practice and they're having to be in the queue, for like an hour or over an hour or so. And obviously we're trying to direct more and more patients to do e-consults so that we can sort of get a hang of those and help them. But even with that, some patients don't have internet, some patients are unable to access the internet and actually make e-consults. So you have a lot of patients who are waiting for days and days and days and not being able to speak to the GP, and then they're turning up in A&E, calling 111 because they're not able to access their GP. So there's a lot of pressure for appointment slots, and I know that the managers in my practice and the partners are trying to sort of work things around and implement different strategies to sort of open up more appointment slots, I suppose, or make the appointment times or the way in which they book appointments more accessible to some people. So we're trialing out a few strategies over the next few weeks, and we'll see if that helps or if that makes a difference. I've had a lot of moments where things have gone well and it has boosted my confidence, some of which I will be sharing in later videos, like in separate videos. I'll be talking about some of these specific things that I've learned that have sort of boosted my confidence. But I've also had some moments or things that have happened that would require me to just reflect on my practice, to reflect on how I work as a clinician and how I am as a person. The one thing that I've learned, especially because this is May and May's Mental Health Awareness Month, is the importance of making sure that you're doing well mentally. I feel like, especially at this time with the pandemic and everything else that's going on, people have a lot of bottled up emotions and everyone is just so angry, and sometimes because of the kind of position that we put ourselves in as healthcare professionals, sometimes a lot of patients or people can sort of dump that anger on us, and we have that duty of care to just sit there and listen and still offer to help them despite all of that. But if you're not coping, if you're a healthcare professional, either whether you're a PA or a doctor or whatever, and if you're not coping, if you're struggling, it's always good to speak up and to do something about it earlier on rather than later. And always look after yourself. Like when I used to hear people say that, even being a student in PA school and working, as a fully qualified healthcare professional, fully qualified PA now, people always say, it's always good to look after yourself. And sometimes it can be so easy to take that for granted, but it's super, super important that we look after ourselves and look after our well-being and be intentional about that. For me, obviously, like you guys know, my faith is one of the fundamental things that keeps me going. God is the only reason why I have strength to do everything that I do. And even when I make mistakes and when I face challenges, I go back to Him and ask Him to help me to give me sort of the strength and help me to learn from those mistakes and to be a better person and a better clinician, because I want to help my patients. So yeah, just be careful and look after yourself, look after your mental health, not just the healthcare professional, wherever you are as a person, your job, or if you're not working, if you're studying, all these different things. Just make sure that you're looking after yourself and your well-being. Sorry, this went a bit deep, but I think that I've felt that a lot this month. So I just thought I would share my 2 cents on that. I love my job. I absolutely love being a physician associate. The last 6 months have been challenging. They've stretched me in so many ways, but I still love my job and I love where I am. I love where God has placed me. I'm learning so much and I'm so grateful. It can be physically and mentally draining sometimes, but I still love my job. I am making a difference for the glory of God, and that's all that matters. So yeah, that's all I have to share at the moment. Let me know how you guys are doing, whether you're in PA school, whether you're working as a PA, or wherever you're working or doing. Let me know how you're doing. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully I will see you guys in other videos next time. Have a lovely day and God bless you. Bye.